Podcast.
Halloween and horror. Served chilled.
Shocktails.
Hey, welcome into the last bar and dispensary on the left for our fall extravaganza. That's where we drink and smoke until we fall down. The cover charge, as always, is to like, comment, and share Hauntcast with your like-minded Halloween fiends. Please make sure you follow the rules tonight. No touching the dancers, and please tip our bartender, Scully. By the way, hey, Scully, send your round of pumpkin ales down to that back booth there, and you shamble along with me down to said back booth to join up with our toxic male Avenger, Johnny Thunderthighs. What's up,
Yo,
JT?
is my mic on mute now?
Yes, I took you off mute. So
Yeah, I like how we like BS for 15 minutes about so, and it's actually like the best part of the show, and it's never included. And then when I step over his ridiculous rehearsed lines, my mic gets muted, but that's okay.
Are we gonna have to do the director's cut or the blooper reels and include them?
Yeah, exactly.
Although,
like I said, I think anytime we've tried to be live or try to do anything in person, it's always a disaster because I have a personality like 2-week-old tuna sandwiches. But anyway, that's my problem. So anyway,
hey, the haunt season is on.
It's here. I'm imbued with the spirit of the Great Pumpkin. That's not just my big fat stomach, like I look like I'm about to have a C-section, but I'm about to have triplets in my stomach.
like you're smuggling pumpkins. And
yeah, well, that's what it's always like. I look at these pictures and I was like, holy crap. And there's are you do you pad your, I'm like, yeah, padding, that's it. Sure. Yeah, I pad my costume.
Now you are back at the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride in the queue line.
I am.
And you're in the queue line because you were demoted from the R&S lines. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know whether it's the hypnotism, the blow, the bribes, but they still allow me and welcome me back every year, and I'm not quite sure yet why. So one of these days, you and the Scooby Gang can go investigate that and go jinkies and pull my mask off at the end. But yeah, so I'm back. Of course, it would be Velma. But I'm back. Yeah, it's we had opening weekend, and what was it? Friday, Saturday was it was great. It was awesome. We have a huge cast this year. I think it's the most actors they've had. I don't know if ever, but it was an enormous amount of actors, which was awesome to see.
They all want to work with the legendary Bubba.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I had to. Well, that was the other thing. We had to do separate lines, for actor orientation. So there was one to show up, do your paperwork, get your badge, do actor training, and then there was a separate line where I was in my air conditioned trailer. And you had to do a meet and greet, and I think I charged
and the girls
$20.
were fanning you and feeding you grapes.
Yeah, and we had lots of Bell's Two Hearted Ale on ice, and manicures and everything, and pedicures and everything else. It was awesome. So yeah, I think that's I think that was the big marketing thing this year, just that you could work alongside me. Although I'm only there 10 nights this year, and I never seen anyone, don't talk to anybody. But yeah, I'm obviously the main, I mean, look at all this. I mean, who could resist?
The main attraction.
All right, well, in my own head.
Unfortunately, once they get through the queue line, they're like, oh, that's all right, we can just go home now.
Well, that's what Mo's like. Well, yeah, I mean, you've seen the best. Just, go the hell home. You spent, I mean, this is, I mean, look at all this. It's the only reason you're here. It's all downhill after this.
Any funny moments from the first opening weekend, the first couple of nights?
Let me think. It was, the problem was Friday night. Oh my God, during the day, we here, like I said, we're just outside. We're in suburban Philadelphia, and we're actually right on the border between, say, the Philadelphia airport and Delaware and Wilmington. It was 90 degrees on Friday. So by the time we got there Friday night, it was mid 70s, and it was hot. It was really, really hot. Thankfully, I don't know that anyone had any issues with the heat or anything crazy. But, no, opening night went really well. And from what I heard, like, everyone had a good time. Everything went well. I don't remember anything crazy. The only thing, and we were up on Saturday night too, the only thing that I always think is funny is I had so many people come up and do the, hey, again, especially teenagers. And it's like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. I wrote that down in my diary. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, of course I know exactly who you are. I'm like, well, my name's Kaylee and my name's like Sandy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, and then everybody like pulls up their, pictures on their phones. But, the funniest to me is also where it's like, hey, we're all seniors this year. And here's a picture of us 10 years ago when we were like in second grade. And I'm like, okay, so I actually had a lot of that, and a lot of people, even like parents and stuff, are like, oh my God, like, we took a picture with you and our daughter, when she was 5 and now she's like 15. Okay. So that's always fun. I always like that. And it's
Grandpappy Bubba.
Well, that's what that's always funny because a couple people now, and it's also kind of weird because I guess because of my age or, my, my demeanor out there. A few people used to always be like, oh, are you like Mr. Bates? You're like, are you Mr. Bates? Like the dad, like meaning like Randy Bates. I'm like, of course not. I'm not Randy Bates. This year for 2 nights so far, it was like, are you the grandpa? Are you like, because now like it's, not just like Randy's like kids, and like Ben is like the manager there. They all now have kids who are teenagers and a couple of them work there. So now all of like the grandkids are teenagers. So like all their like teenage friends come up and I'm like, no. So it's like I've gone through the generational shift from are you like the dad to like the grandfather. So it's kind of funny. But nah, it's been fun. Like I said, it was a great opening weekend. There's a lot of new talent, a lot of new fun. And we've had, I think we have, besides me, 4 others. So we have 5 people online this year, which is awesome. And a lot of, a couple newer actors to Q, and also just a couple newer actors in general. But it was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun. So awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, and we have a new scene out front. They built this new little kind of a photo op in front of the house. It's like a gated cemetery situation with real tombstones, and they have this like awesome like wrought iron fencing around it with this big crest in the middle of the haunt. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another great year.
All right, excellent.
Yeah. And what about you? I saw the Myers like kind of.
Oh, it's up, and it's in full swing, man. I got all the props out now. Obviously, we're recording this, like a week in advance from when this drops. I've got basically all the props out except for Cthulhu because I've got to fix the base.
What happened?
Beyond that, his legs were just a little too close together, and I need to spread like this because he's squatting down,
like the pee-pee dance.
So I got to just move his leg about 8 to 12 inches, like separate them from each other. So I got to move one of the the leg pieces over, like where he's like attached to the wooden base. I just got to move him over a little bit.
That was a decision like after you like mounted it and looked at it and you were like, it doesn't look right. Okay.
Yeah, from last year. He kept leaning over to one side too much, and I ended up having to use some metal wire to kind of pull him back in the other direction. So I said this year before he goes out, I'm going to just move that mount bracket over. So when I get his legs in, he's more in the middle, not leaning to one side. You couldn't really notice it that well because I had fixed it for all the pictures, but it's just one thing I have to adjust. Everything else is good to go. Everything else.
I'll say, number one, you're probably the only one that notices that.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, we're the only ones that see that.
Absolutely.
Number 2, much like my badge from the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride, where it's held together by rubber bands and it's like broken and like crumbly, I think I need you to come down and rewire my legs so like I'm not like leaning to one side.
Have to wire you up.
I think I need
with
that help.
10 spikes and wires and keep you
that's why I said, like,
upright.
I'm held together by wishes and rubber bands. So.
And I got the elder things out there, the psychedelic mushrooms out, all the new stuff, the new kind of vines coming out of the ground, the pool noodle vines.
My favorite, the meteor.
The meteor, the rock. Everybody's been busting my balls when I post a picture. Everybody sees that picture and video, and everybody comments, "Hey, nice rock."
Well, I said to you, I was like, you were like pissed off. I was like, "Hey, that looks really great. I really, really like that rock." And you were like, "Of everything I posted, you just like the rock." I'm like, "Well, no, I like everything else, but I really like the rock." You have a future in like a Flintstones kind of a haunt, maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, the meteor, the rock is a meteor, and that's right next to the well from another Lovecraft Easter egg that no one will get.
But it's nice to have the satisfaction personally of seeing that.
I'll go post that in the HP Lovecraft Society group on Facebook, and they'll all go crazy over it.
Right. Well, you could always dream.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, everything's out. Gordy is back. Is the return of Gordy? So Gordy's back after a few years hiatus.
And you don't bring like a Scully out or anything, do you? Do you ever put him out by the candy bowl or anything?
I have a couple of Buckies, the grave robbers or whatever. Yeah, I call them my grave robbers.
Yeah, but you should put your little the fabricated one that
I have the tombstone that the guys from Woodloom made me from years ago.
That's right.
That a woodpeckers never touched the tombstones, and last year a woodpecker landed on the thing and poked a hole right in Scully's face.
I love that Woody Woodpecker is your complete enemy.
The woodpecker is my arch nemesis. I need a dome to cover my haunt to keep the woodpeckers out of here.
I think next, you know what you should do? You should make this sort of dead woodpecker kind of display. Have a tree with dead woodpeckers just hanging off of it, as a warning. You know how they used to do the pirates. You would hang the pirates at the crossroads or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need to do something. Yeah.
A woodpecker on a spike.
Yeah.
You want this? You want some of this?
Good times in the mire.
Yeah. So the mire is everything's out. Lighting, most of the lighting is plugged in now. I'm going to give it another test run this evening, and I just have to plug in all the cemeteries. So by the time this drops, the cemetery, everything will be fully lit and good to go for October. So,
fully lit like its owner.
Fully lit.
Anywho.
Exactly. Hey, by the way.
I missed the days of shitty. Oh, yes. No, I'm
by
sorry.
The way,
don't mute my mic. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Oh, thanks, Scully.
Wait, see us in the sun.
I didn't know it. Scully stuck up on us and he's pouring us a drink.
See, this is nobody else appreciates this. It's just you're fucking ridiculous. This is this is. Nobody else appreciates this, but it was when we first did this, and you were like, "I have this bed,
not hot."
Yeah, I have this bed of drops, and you were like, you just kept doing those on a loop, and I was like, "This is the greatest. This is the greatest thing ever." Oh man, radio people! I don't know if you're not in radio, you won't appreciate that, but I love that.
You know what? I know to break up all this hilarity, but we probably should do. Yeah, we should do what we came here to do, I guess. Huh?
Not just drinking BS? I'm sorry. I thought that was the goal. I think, you know what? I wanted to talk about more than just one flick, but my schedule was kind of F up, so I didn't get to go see anything else. So I think we're just going to talk about the new Toxic Avenger.
We'd lost Shelley a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
It looks great.
I'll just scrape off the black part. That part's pretty good.
No, give him back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't she do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing.
It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation
would knowingly poison its own customers just to boost their own profit margins? Summon the nuts.
Okay, summoning the nuts.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad.
What the?
I wasn't even involved. But sometimes, you gotta do something.
Who the fuck are you?
Just some dude with a mouth!
I'm screaming the call, holding hands at the dawn.
How does it feel to be a hero?
A simple melody.
Do you realize what's at stake here?
Everything! Find him, bring him here. There you are.
Only the good things in life, that's all that matters.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say, self-defense,
Only the good things,
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though.
that's all that matters to me.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
So the Toxic Avenger is the remake, obviously, of like the original classic movie from our childhood, starring Peter Dinklage as the monster. And I've seen people complain about that we have like too many spoilers and we have like too many like, you know, problems with how much we reveal. So I'm just going to do a high level overview of the film. I think, what is it, clocking about an hour and a half? Like I said, Peter Dinklage plays the human character that becomes, irritated by toxic waste at the power plant, becomes the Toxic Avenger, a little bit higher. Only disappointing thing I would say is that I heard that then Dinklage actually wasn't in the costume and the makeup. He only did the human part of the show. So I thought that was a little weird. Kevin Bacon plays the main monster. I think Elijah Wood plays his like bizarre humpback, crazy half brother who controls this like the bizarre rock band that goes out and like kills everyone, and was actually one of my favorite parts of the movie. Obviously, this is not our generation's version of the Toxic Avenger, right? You know, that movie was the trauma film of its time. The way that you and I, right, Chris, grew up, our sensibilities, the thing that you could probably get away with then that you can't get away with now, for whatever reason. And I'm not getting into politics and social commentary, but you know, I would say, look, overall, I wasn't mad that I went to the theater to see it. Like I said, it was only an hour and a half. It had a lot of callbacks to the original film. It kind of took a lot of this story elements, storylines, characters, kind of moved them around a little bit, you know, kind of reincorporated them in a new way. It was fine, you know, but like, again, I'm a huge trauma fan. I love all the original Toxie movies. I even like the new Toxic Avenger comic books that they've been putting out. And even like the cartoons and everything, you know, I'm a big fan. So it was fine. You know, I wasn't mad. Like, I like to see the character back. I like to see what's going on. But overall, you know, I thought the costuming was good. I thought the effects were good. I thought the ending was like super goofy and kind of dumb and not necessarily in a good way. The Killer Rock Band, and I'm not looking at like notes or anything, but I thought they were awesome because they were so over the top and just ridiculously, you know, haunting character, like crazy, you know, BS kind of thing. But overall, like I said, it's nothing compared to the original. It's never going to hold up to what we grew up with. So I would check it out if it's for free. I wouldn't spend any money on it. But, you know, overall, again, you know, it was like, oh, how many lightning bolts out of 5? I'm like, I don't know, 2. You know, 2.5.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad, but it was just sort of like, you know, and a lot of the effects were good. I think like the kind of the sequences with like a lot of like the, you know, like the colors and animation and everything. But overall, you know, a little sappy, you know, introducing sort of these, you know, trying to like make it like more heartfelt and like more of like an actual emotional investment in it. And all you want is just nonsense, right? You know, it's like it's the same way, like you listen to my segment, like we're not looking for like you and I making these like, you know, profound reviews or these like, you know, heartfelt connections about anything. It's just, it's nonsense. And it wasn't the nonsense, again, like I said, because you can't get away with the nonsense that, you know, the originals did. So then I came home and I watched the original on Tubi, and I was just like, fuck yeah. So so again, would I even go back to, I think it was like our first episode of like Honcast when I did Fright Flicks, I think we reviewed like the Friday the 13th remake. You know, it was like, look, you know, if you don't like it, the originals are still there. And if you don't want to watch the new one, then ignore it. I would just say, you know, if you're doing something, you're carving pumpkins, or you're just like, you know, hanging out, it's like, oh, what's up? You know, we're just going to, you know, do something else while this movie's on in the background. You're not going to miss anything. You don't have to pay attention. It's not like it's Shakespeare. So overall, like I said, it was fine. But it was like, you know, I didn't hate it, but I was also just like, okay. You know, I left and that was that. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was pretty much my impression.
Yeah, it's like the rewatchability, I guess, is one of the way, if you're going to rate a movie,
judge something.
you're going to judge something.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to rush back to the movie theater and see it again? Okay, then it's probably 5 out of 5 Thunderbolts.
Right.
If you probably never want to see it again, but didn't hate it, yeah, you're going to give it like a 2, 2.5, you know, maybe 3 at best. Thunderbolts out of 5. Yeah, I felt the same way. I wasn't mad. I was just like, very super mid, just super mid.
Right.
I was
Agreed.
when I heard that Dinklage was going to be Toxie, I just thought, wow, that sounds like a miscast, and you know, I don't think I was wrong there. My gut was not wrong. I didn't think he was awful or anything, but it was just like, okay. And if they were going to have him turn into Toxic Avenger,
I wanted
then
to see,
why wasn't he a big Toxic Avenger? Because if he could have just gotten big then, right?
And that's,
I don't know.
There's a couple things there. Number one, apparently this was like completed and filmed and like done like 2023. And from what I heard, they couldn't get distribution. So that's why it kind of just like sat around for 2 years. And number two, I completely agreed. Easy for me to say. Let me take another drink of that beer. Here, hold on. I wonder if there's another drop where I'm drinking a beer. Hold on.
Easy, Barney.
Yeah, here. So anyway, so you were supposed to do the beer drinking, the glub.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, see.
What?
Oh, no. There. Oh.
If I hit enough buttons, I'll get the right one.
Yay! Finally. And to your point, see, I thought they were going to do like a twins thing, right? So like you would say, Dinklage is shorter, and then all of a sudden you have this like 7-foot dude, you know. And I thought that would be funny. And he was like sort of, I don't know, you know,
like a hobgoblin.
It's just now I would say there were some like good special, like I wouldn't say special effects. There was some sort of like gore. You know, they kind of reinterpret the cafe scene. But I think the other thing was a lot of it wasn't practical. Like a lot of it was like CGI, like really crappy blood. Yeah. So there's like, you know, arms come off and there's like fake blood, and other scenes have fake blood. And so again, I get it if you have limitations with your budget and everything, but for my money, which would be free on Tubi, I would just watch the original flick.
Yeah, it wasn't over the top enough. It wasn't right. If they were going for the 80s vibe, they kind of failed. They didn't really hit it. I think you could see that they were trying to go for it, but they didn't really get there. Especially from somebody who barely survived the 80s, who lived through and barely survived that snowstorm. That was the 80s. Anyway, I don't. It was. Yeah, it was super mid. There was some cool shit in it. Wasn't over the top enough, but did have some cool gory scenes. But once again, the CGI was a little weak.
Yes.
Overall, yeah, you could catch it for free on Tubi. That's the way to do it.
All right, so my work here is done.
Yeah, I guess so. Off with you.
Yes, exactly. Anything else before I talk to you in a year or so?
Oh, then we got to close the bar up already. That was quick.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I have I have time.
You've got another 5 minutes before your next
before my next interview. Yes, I have. I was gonna say I have. I have extra at 5, and I have all those other circle jerk videos that I need to do tonight. So where everybody just interviews each other and pats each other on the balls. Yes, I have so many of those lined up tonight.
Okay, so before we break, what are you doing at the house this year on H night there on Halloween Eve?
That's great. Because last year, if you remember, I did the just like the crappy little tombstones and stuff, and I had it all lit up. And I did my Hunchback character, and I did like a little fence, around it, and I had the music and the fog machines. And then my wife did the table at the top of the driveway with the lighting and everything. And we have the spotlights in the yard, like all around. Because in years past, I've done just sort of like the fog machine, some lighting, and some corn stalks. I think right now I'm kind of going to do the same thing. Although I bought those, I don't know if you saw, I bought those like big stackable, I think they were like from like Walmart or Home Depot a couple of years ago. I think they were like $200. So it's like the big stackable skulls, and it's almost like the Russian stackable dolls. It's like 5 skulls. I got it for like $40 used. So I have them, and I think I'm gonna do the tombstones and the lighting. And I got a new fog machine that has color, like the color spinning thing, in addition to like the smoke. And I have my other fog machine. I'm leaning towards just doing my Hunchback again because I really, really like that character and that costume. But then again, I bought that Pumpkin Riot corn mask, so I could also at the last minute just decide to kind of do, like the corn scarecrow killer dude. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Or I could do like a costume change like Cher, right? Like halfway through the night and, come out and like Wonder Woman, I'll spin around and I'll have a new outfit. I don't know. We'll see. I took off Halloween. It's that Friday. I'm working the Bates, and we're open November 1st and 2nd, and I'm taking off that Monday again. So we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, we usually get about, I think, 80, 90 kids, which for like my little neighborhood is pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's fun, and like I said, it's also, you work at the Bates. I'm like, yeah, okay. So we like take pictures and, which is kind of cool. So
no autograph, please. I'm not working.
Well, like I said, when I stop at Wawa and there's like, one of the town police officers are there, and I come in like dressed like an asshole, and he's like, oh, hey, I was like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, you're at the Bates. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, you live on so-and-so street. I'm like, yeah, yes, officer. I'm glad my dossier is up to date. But I told you a couple years ago, somebody drove by, and they were like, hey, I was like checking the mail, and they were like, hey, what's up? I was like, oh, hi, and I have no idea who they are. They're like, oh, you're late. I'm like, what do you mean I'm late? They're like, oh, you haven't decorated your yard yet. I'm like, oh. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, no, we come here for trick-or-treats, but I don't see anything up yet. I'm like, oh, it'll be up in time, but thanks. So, anyway, yeah, so we'll see. I'm sure you and my dozen of fans will be waiting with bated breath.
Of course.
Yes.
But of course.
Of course. Well, I mean, it goes without saying. So anyway, all right, well, that's it. All right, goodbye. Okay, that was awkward. All right, so is it time to wrap up?
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening. I will catch you probably in 8 or 9 months when Baker calls me back. And as always, I guess, I'll say happy Halloween. Have a great haunt season. I wish you all the best. Catch us on all the socials, on all the platforms,
all the things,
the things that the kids are into. I'll say 67. And Baker, have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And as always, everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is Johnny Thunder and the Genius saying, stay scary.
Please like, subscribe, comment, give us a 5-star review, share with friends, and buy us a beer if you see us out in the wild. Follow us on Instagram at huntcast.podcast for show updates, as well as more pictures and video content. Join the Huntcast Hunt Club on Discord, with live streams bi-weekly. Also, like and follow our Huntcast Facebook page. Listen to the entire back catalog of our audio podcasts, available on all podcast platforms, with over 550 segments now available. Until next time, stay scary.
Get out while you can. You are all free men. You hear me? Run!